Now we're on to the inequalities, and it's been a little bit since we've done them. They were at the very, very beginning of the chapter whenever we first tackled them, so let's use this time to review. Number 11, we have 6 plus 2n minus 6n is less than or equal to negative 10. And guys, please, we've been doing this all semester. Whenever you see two things on the same side that you can combine, go ahead and do it first. Clean it up. This cleans up into a minus 4n is less than or equal to 10. And now we start moving pieces around. Minus 6, minus 6. We get negative 4n is less than or equal to negative 16. Divide by negative 4. Divide by negative 4. And that's when something interesting happens. Okay? I went too far. Because that was the one little extra rule to inequality solving. Was that whenever you divide by a negative, we flip the sign. So this is, yes, going to be just an n on the left-hand side, but it's going to become a greater than or equal to sign and a positive 4. So we're looking for n is greater than 4. I'm looking up here. I only see one that has that result, or greater than or equal to, sorry. I only see one that has that result. And I double check, make sure that it's graphed correctly. Dot at positive 4. Shade to the right. Number 12, we've got to do a little distribution first. Okay, so try to keep up. I'm going to write this a little bit odd. I'm going to copy the problem down, but I'm going to copy down with the distribution already done. 2 times 2 is 4 minus 2 times 2n is 4n less than 28 minus 7n. So we multiplied through by 2, but remember, even if this had been like a negative 2, we still wouldn't be flipping the sign. We only flip the sign when we choose to divide or multiply by a negative number, like we needed it. We don't just flip the sign if it happens. This times 2 is already a piece of the problem. So it's positive, we wouldn't flip the sign anyways. It's just a little subtle reminder, just in case. Now I'm going to start moving stuff around. I'm going to add 7n to both sides. These are going to cancel. At the same time, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. Hopefully we're starting to get the hang of that, seeing that now I'm collecting all my letter n's on the left side and all my regular whole numbers on the right-hand side. I get 3n is less than 24. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. The sign is going to stay the same because we divided by a positive number. That rule only holds true for negatives. And I see, there's my answer, D. It should be an open circle because it wasn't greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. And it should shade to the left. Okay? Again, remember, if our variable is on the left-hand side, we can trust the arrow. If it's not, we got to flip it. Number 13 is where we start our literal equations. And people look at this and it baffles them. But guys, we've been getting rid of fractions all semester. Okay, it's been one of the big focuses this year actually so far. So if I have A equals 1/2 BH, I want to get rid of the fraction by multiplying by the denominator. Times 2 times 2. I get 2A equals BH. Because this cancels here, and on the left-hand side, we're just keeping up with it. Our goal is to have H all by itself, so we're one step closer. Speaking of one step closer, our next step would be undoing this multiplication with division. Those are going to cancel out, and you're going to see that I've got A all by itself. 2A over B equals H, not AH. I've got H all by itself. I look through my answers, and there we are. 14 is a little more involved. We have P equals 2W plus 2L, and I'm trying to get L all by itself. So I subtract 2W from both sides. Guys, P and W don't mix. They don't mix. So I'm just going to keep them like they were. I like the minus sign being in the middle. Also, I noticed that 3 of my answers have minus signs, and they put the minus sign in the middle, not out front. So I'm thinking, hey, let's go ahead and write this like the answers kind of look. And then I want L all by itself. So just like the last problem, my final step here is dividing by whatever number or letter in last problem's case is out front. The 2's are going to cancel. And I look at this and I say, okay, look, there's my answer. Boom, P minus 2W over 2. I look up here and say, well, that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist anywhere. So I start looking at things, start noticing things. I notice this P over 2 is in 3 different options. That doesn't mean it has to be in the answer, but I sit there and go, oh, that would be if I took the 2 and actually put it with, divided the P by it. Well, I can't just do one of them, so maybe I do both of them. Well, if I do that, P divided by 2 is just P over 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 is a negative 1, which would be a negative 1W. I don't write the 1 there. I just put minus W because that's how computers spit it out. And then I have L all by itself. And I see that that is the answer, C.